Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is for my November budget closeout. My dog is barking in the background, so I may have to let her in because she's currently outside, probably barking at the deer. On this side of the screen, you will see my phone stand, tripod thing. It's not really a tripod, it's like a base with an arm. And there's really nothing I can do about it. I was gonna flip the camera around to the other side, but the lens is on this side of the screen, and if I turn the camera around, it would be on this side of the screen. And I thought that the angle would be better on this side, so you let me know what you think. Anyway, let's get into November. So. I did not keep up with this page at all. I did definitely fill it out. I did enter up here, I wrote up here, not enter. Up here, the different categories that I'm going to be focusing on this month, and like how I tried to, not how, but I did try to combine a lot of categories to make it less confusing for me when I try and add things up at the end of the month. And in terms of comparing, so when I did my Where Did My Money Go worksheets, it felt so much clearer. I was like, okay, I can do this. So this page, didn't really keep up with it. I didn't keep up with any savings. I didn't keep up with what I budgeted or didn't budget for this one. The one thing I did budget, or not budget, but did keep up with was my Barclay card. I did end up being able to pay that one off, but it's like a fake win because I opened up a Discover card to put the balance from that card. So I know I just finished paying off my Discover card from another balance transfer, and now I have another balance transfer on it again. But I'll get into that when I get into my debt page. So this is my monthly calendar. I tried to draw a little turkey here and a cornucopia. I did have 23 no spend days, and I'm including my no unplanned days. And here's my little color key for no spend, unplanned, and planned. So I wrote in some of the days where I did have unplanned spending, but I didn't write in exactly what it was for all days. It just, some of the purchases didn't seem necessary to highlight. So like this one, I was doing so well. So I feel like sometimes I do so well with not putting any money on the Starbucks card, and then other times I'm like, you know what I need? I need someone to make me a cup of coffee. And sometimes it helps. I think it's the caffeine addiction, really, is what it is at the end of the day. But this one, I got gas. Even though the gas was a planned expense, because I'm planning to buy gas at least once a month, my computer was a miscellaneous expense. So I did end up buying a external hard drive. Oh, that's my dog. I did end up buying an external hard drive, which is this guy. So this is a Seagate. It's a 2 terabyte hard drive. Not 2, I'm so sorry. It's a 5 terabyte hard drive. So that way when I was ready to move my old computer to a new computer, then I could move everything and not feel like I had to connect to the computers to do a transfer that way. And that way I could actually back up the entire hard drive. So that's good. And now I have one, so it's also good. But it was definitely an unplanned expense. What else? Car insurance, Discover cards. This is my December. This was due for December, but I just paid it off in November. And I guess that's it. Oh, I spent gas twice. I wonder if I caught that. And see here at the bottom, I put it in orange. So now I need to go back and see where I spent everything because I didn't realize I did that. Let's see. Gas should be under miscellaneous, so it's not here. Here's 21 for gas. And then 20, that's 42, let's say. So I did obviously count it. Oh, you know what? I don't count it that way anymore because now I count it all as miscellaneous. So that's probably why I didn't make the connection in my head when I did that. So before, gas was a separate category. I'm so sorry if my voice gets like kind of scratchy. I get really like bad allergies during the holidays because it's like cold and the weather changes and the seasons change. And as a result, my sinuses get really messed up. So I did a nasal rinse this morning, and I think it's trying to like dislodge something in my sinuses, which is why it makes my voice more scratchy than it needs to be. Anyway, because I switched up how I track my spending, like here I wrote in all my highlighted colors to help me identify what each color means to help remind myself. And then I just did it again here at the bottom. I did this because this is a part of my Chase card. There she is again. I did this because even though this is a part of my Chase card and it is my credit card, I still want to track like where my money's going, because sometimes I do have bills, or in the month of November, I did make some of my bills go to my Chase card because I didn't think I'd have enough money in my bank to pay off my bills. And at least this way, everything still gets paid without like going into overdraft or something. For example, my car insurance here is $70.44. Usually that comes out of my bill pay account, and this time it came out of my Chase card. So my balance at the end of November is $97.47. I know I keep saying that I'm not going to do cents, and I'm really working on it for December, I promise. But I decided to write down my totals here at the bottom, and then what percentage to income am I using my credit card for this pay period. And then here is my cash. I only have one line for cash. I went to Michael's to buy some craft supplies. And then this is my multi-account page. So, for example, my Chase Rewards card, this is where my allergist comes out and then I pay it. My Discover card that I decided to do a balance transfer for, so here's $7,600. And then the interest that came from it, which pushed my balance over my limit of $7,600. And then I made the minimum payment to bring me back under my balance limit. So now I know my interest. The way this card is going to work for the balance transfer is I didn't do a zero. They gave me two options. It was either a zero interest rate for 1 year or like 16 months or 18 months, something like that, and pay a 3% fee on the amount of money I was transferring over. Or I could transfer with no balance transfer fee, but have a 4.99% APR for 12 months. So, or I guess it was 18 months. It may have been 18 months. So I think one was for 1 year and the other one was for a year and a half. So I did the one for the year and a half. So I will have interest being charged to the Discover card. And then after this month, they ended up raising my balance limit by like, I think $3,000. I'm not planning on spending money on this card, but to know that at least I'm not like at the top level, my balance is $7,600 and I owe $7,600. So that was kind of them to just raise it in the meantime. So I'm not gonna, I did end up closing the Barclay card. So that card is completely closed. So I did lose, I think it was like $95 or $9,400 of credit on that card. So when I closed that card, my, what is that thing that we're always so worried about? Credit report, the thing on my credit report, whatever that number is, it dropped like 75 points. So because it showed that I no longer have like the balance available or the credit available, I like shortened how much credit is available, and which is fine. So to know that Discover basically just bumped me back up a couple $1,000s, I'm like, that's fine, whatever. But anyway, so now I have this card to worry about. I'm going to start paying as much as I can on it, but at least for now, I know that my minimum is going to be around 153, and I'll have about $30 in interest a month. So here's my Barclay card. My Barclay had the balance of $365 and 37 cents, so I paid $365 and 37 cents. I like took money from everywhere that I could find. I was like trying to pull it just so that it was done and I could just call them the next day basically and say, hey, I need to cancel this card. So this was my credit union. I still have the $51 in it. I did not pull any payments from that amount. And then this was where I took the money for paying off, because I had enough for my minimum, which was like $212 or $211. And then I took $100, which the annual fee was going to come up in November, essentially. And then I had an extra $55, and I took 12 cents to meet my $365 and 37 cents. So that way it would be completely done. So I'm very excited about that because that was my highest interest rate card. When my Discover card, if I don't pay off the balance by next February 2022, then it's going to go to my regular interest rate, which is like 16.99%. Isn't terrible. It's still pretty high, but at least it's not the 22% that the Barclay card was. That was ridiculous. Okay, so this is my Chase, and I'm sorry if the video feels a little piecemealed together, but I'm trying to cut out as many times as I have to like cough or something. So this is my Chase Rewards card. So they had cash back on certain categories, so I decided to use them and just take advantage of basically the free money. And then I'm going to let this card hit the statement date so that I can pay it off essentially by the statement date. Even though I had it here, basically this is my Chase card, the rewards card, I just took it and copied the information over, and then I added the other payments to it. So this card, I'm coming into December with a negative balance of $213.76. And then I tried to do this page again where I did like a week by week spending, but it didn't work out very well. I forgot that I was like just doing one page for the bill pay and doing one page for the credit card, and then I ended up using 2 credit cards. So I'm just gonna forget that page existed. So here is my where did my money go for the month of November. My total income was $2,105. In terms of where did my money go, I spent I budgeted $156 for miscellaneous, but I spent $150, so it's a difference of $6, and that was 7% of my income. For utilities, I budgeted $147. I spent $246 because I added the Mint Mobile account, and so I overspent essentially by $99. My personal, I budgeted $85. I spent $365. Whoops. I have a problem sometimes. But my entertainment, I didn't spend any money on entertainment. Woo. Holidays, even though I didn't budget anything, I did spend $117 and that does include like some gift giving. For savings, I budgeted $385. I didn't spend any of it. I didn't save anything. I didn't budget anything for the ATM, and I didn't take anything out. And I budgeted $847 for my debt, but I ended up spending almost twice the amount. For where did my money go in terms of debt and savings breakdown, I didn't spend any money on savings, so this was garbage that I did. I spent, of my $1,574, 75% was towards debt, or in this case, towards a credit card. My Barclay card was 17%. My Chase Reward card was 102. My Chase Freedom card was 605. My Discover card was 153. My car loan was 349. This one's a little higher than normal because I did pay an extra $65 towards it, just so that my December car loan would be a little lower. What I'm finding, oh, there's my dog again. What I'm finding is if I overpay on the car loan, even if it's by a couple of bucks, it basically just takes the balance off for the following month. So at the beginning of the month, I finished paying off the rest of my car loan. So on the 17th, I won't have an amount due, and then it just pushes the next due date to the next month. And then my allergist that I don't count towards, I'm not double counting it because this $50 is actually a part of the 102. For my last month versus this month, I had a monthly income change of a positive 480. Last month I made 1625, and this month I made 2000 or 2105. For miscellaneous versus, not miscellaneous, for last month versus this month, if you've been following me in the past, you know that usually this is like completely filled up. So to have it so like small feels really good. For example, like my miscellaneous, hold on. With my miscellaneous, I know that $41 or $42 of it went to gas. So I'm not too worried about like the gas going up, for example, because usually I spend around 20 bucks anyway for gas. And this last month I drove a little bit more often than I usually do. Entertainment went down. Holidays, I don't know, $30. What's the difference? Debt wasn't that big of a difference. Nothing again for the ATM. But I really like this order of tracking my money because I feel like in my head miscellaneous comes first, and then utilities because that's like a necessary expense, and then personal, so that's anything regarding like health or hobbies, anything that's like just me. Food that is not food for the house, it's just food for me. Entertainment would be like an activity. Holidays would be either gift giving or like a holiday that's coming up, a holiday weekend or something. Entertainment would also be like if I'm doing a potluck with friends, like when my friends and I play Dungeons and Dragons. If I'm making food, then, or if I'm bringing something and I had to spend money on it, that would come out of my entertainment budget. Or I would categorize it as entertainment if I didn't budget for it. Savings is savings of any kind, whether electronic or cash. ATM would just be anything that I took out from the ATM. Even though ATM would technically be considered like one of these categories up here, I still want to track when I'm taking cash out. And then debt would be anything that's going towards a credit card. Even though some of this debt is paying for some of these expenses. So, is this the last page? Yeah, then it's December. So the way that my brain is going to be processing this information when it comes to like this page, I guess total, this bottom part, total income minus expenses. So I could probably do this here now with you. I didn't think about that. I could do, let me look for a blank sheet of paper. I could do, where's a pen? I can add all of these things up here. Or I guess let's add it. Yeah, let's add it here. So it's basically going to be income in my case. I know everyone's cases is always going to be different. Income minus bill pay plus debt payments plus savings, right? So let's go to, so we know our income is 2105. So we're going to say 2105 minus, this is income. This is a terrible pen too. Minus, so here I can count this money up. So we have 76 for utilities, personal, 35 and debt is 1534. Six and 4 is 10 and 5 is 15. Let's see, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, so it's really here. This is 6 and 1. Right? If my math is wrong, please let me know in the comments below. So this is going to be 0, 1, 6, 1, 10, 4, 460. So does that mean I'm short by $60? Because I only have 400 left in my account. Unless there's my 60, because I'm also counting my cash. Okay, I found where my $60 is. I started the month with $60 in cash. So this is cash. Cash, and then my 400 is my bill pay. So this checks out. So my total expenses for the month was $1645. Because even though I spent money in these categories, most of this is on a credit card anyway. So there. Okay, but if I count just the categories, oops, I don't know. This is a lot of counting. I'm not going to worry about it. This video is already like 22 minutes long, so I'm just going to end it here. And if you have any questions or anything, either leave it below. If you like what you saw, definitely give me a thumbs up. And I will see you in the next video for December. And since this is all a process anyway, I think I'm making pretty good, like I'm covering pretty good ground, I think, for me at least. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.